Hey, y'all, and happy April. So, we're going to dive right into getting our April Insights and Ally message. So, I'm going to start with the Sacred Symbols deck. Let's see what maybe the theme of April, a symbol, something that we can kind of carry with us throughout the month to remind us of the message. As always, with a general reading, we're keeping an open mind, our own intuition open. You are interpreting your own messages as much as I am. And so for April 2024, let's see what our sacred symbol is. Okay. All right. We got meditate. This came up not too long ago in a general reading that I did for a group that was talking about bringing the yang energy back into the fact that we're going into spring. So, if you're not familiar with that term, yang energy is that active energy. And so, yes, we are going into spring. We are literally the world around us is going back into active energy, whether we want to or not. You're going to start to feel it, you're going to start to sense it, you're going to start to see it. Things are blooming. However, that doesn't mean we just put aside all of the yin energy, all of the calm, the everything that we learned during the introspective period of winter. In fact, if anything, it's even more important now that we carry on into the yang season, into the spring season, a practice of meditation. I am a certified yoga and meditation teacher. I don't actively teach anymore, but I do know that I run into a lot of people who tell, in fact, more often than not, what I hear is, I don't meditate, I can't meditate because I can't quiet my mind down. That is not the requirement for meditation. That is the outcome. That is the practice. That is the reward of meditation. The practice is to actually allow your thoughts to just go and to use your breath as an anchor, that when you've noticed your awareness has followed your thoughts, to just come back to focusing on your breath. You can do this by running, biking, swimming, sitting in meditation, laying in meditation on your back in the fetal pose on your side. You can do this in a walking meditation. That is a thing. It's a traditional historic form of meditation that has its own practice, and it's one of my favorites because I sit all day at my desk as a writer and marketing consultant. So I would prefer to go and move while I meditate. Yoga is a form of meditation with movement. So as we're thinking about this, really just bringing in mindfulness in any way, making sure that as we get back into this active season, we are not ignoring the time that we need for quiet reflection and introspection, self-care, rest. Let's pick an oracle card, and this will kind of be our theme for the month, our advice, our guidance, something that we just want to keep in mind for the month of April, or going into the month of April, here and now. If this isn't reaffirming that meditation card, I don't know what else is. Okay, so collectively, if we have been in this energy of wanting to be somewhere, wanting something to happen, wanting to have accomplished something, to have achieved something, but we're not there yet, doesn't sound like April is going to be the month where it happens, because we're still learning how to be here and now and accept the part of the process that we're at and accept the position that we're at. And so, meditation is a really helpful tool in learning to be present and accept the present moment. And it really does teach you how to like detach from past memories and how to plan and look to the future while detaching from like the anxious thoughts about the future. So, because they say someone depressed is caught in the past, someone who's anxious is too consumed with worrying about the future. So, meditation and mindfulness can teach you how to reflect on the past without being pulled down by it, and how to plan and like move towards the future without being anxious about it while still realizing that you are in the present here and now. So if there's something that has happened that you are mourning, if there is something that hasn't happened yet that you are impatiently or anxious about happening, this month is a lesson in being here for the here and now. Okay, and sure enough, yep, we have past and future, and she's sitting in between on this egg with a window, and that's where she is. She's at the here and now. And I just learned through some research that the numbers 3 and 2, 3 is a, shoot, I think it's 3 is a masculine number and 2 is a feminine number. And when you combine them, you get 5, which you get this like in between, like alchemized number. So here we're talking about like, again, this is a very kind of passive energy as we're going into a season that is talking that is going to make us feel like we need to be move, go, 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 go. Because that is like that's what the earth is doing right now. So we're going to feel that energy whether we like feel that or not. We're going to feel that energy. You're going to sense it around you with people as they start to get more active and out and want to be outside and do things. Okay, so the 3 and the 2 is also a reminder to bring in that balance. Look at how she's between the posts. Okay, so this is also a reminder. This isn't just about being present necessarily and accepting that in-between state that we might find ourselves in right now. It's also about remembering to bring in the balance between getting back out there, being active again, retaining that introspective self-care internal practice. So that's our oracle wisdom. So I think those two were pretty like solid, close together, letting you know. Also, Mercury goes into retrograde today, so that might, like kind of choosing to remain somewhat like introspective and introverted during the season. Not introverted as in like antisocial, but just like making sure you have that refuel time is probably going to be wise because if you do feel like you're affected by those planetary movements in this way, we're going into a couple weeks of some probably like a little bit stressful time. Okay. Hummingbird spirit, and her keyword for it is be here now. So we know that hummingbirds, how fast they move and they flit about, and they are being productive. Okay, so but if we are emulating that kind of frantic, frenetic, active, notice that hummingbirds pause, even though their wings are still flapping, their bodies will kind of pause and hover as they're feeding, as they're doing the things that they do. So we're still, you see how it's that combination? It's that balance between the very active energy and the pause. Horse spirit. When we see horses, horses are often there to remind us that freedom, like to be, let the wild horse out, be the free spirit that you are, which is interesting since there are no wild horses left in America. But I think, re- regardless, that is the symbol, that's the energy that a horse brings. But I would also say that, especially since there are no more wild horses in America, when we encounter horses that are domesticated, they're trained, but they each have a unique spirit. And so you have your horses that are a little bit more wild, even though they are trained and domesticated. You have even the calmer, more passive horses. When you get on them and you go for a ride, they are happy. That's what they want to be doing. They want to be riding. They want to be going. And so again, we're talking about, even if we look at that horse in that context, we're looking at that same balance. So if you yourself have been feeling kept trapped this season, and you are ready to get out, and you are, I am in a wide circle of introverts, so I'm in a wide circle of people who are like, who want that yin energy, who love to be in that yin energy, but Not everybody's like that. And so if you are like, oh my gosh, I'm so ready. In fact, there's a lot of this country right now. I'm in Florida where, we don't have much of a winter, so we've kind of been in spring for a while. So, like for us, it's not this sharp contrast. It's not like, oh, we aren't seeing snowdrops burst through the snow and seeing those first signs of spring and there's not as much of an anticipation. I know that in part of the country, spring is here, seasonally, but not outside your doors. So if this is you and you're like, I want out. Oh God, I just want to be able to get out now. I'm so done with this. I'm so ready. This is a reminder that find the ways that you can be until true like liberation has come. Freedom is yours. However, we are still, I mean, we just still keeping that balance. So those are our two animal allies. I'm going to pick a plant ally. I am not, I'm still learning this deck. I'm still learning a lot about plant symbolism. Like that one's taking me a little bit of time to learn. So I'm going to actually consult the books on the meanings for this one. So we have thistle. And see, for instance, like what I know about thistle is this is what Eeyore likes to eat. So, because a lot of plant and animal symbolism does come from like, especially with plant symbolism, a lot of the symbolism of plants comes from what its uses are, like in herbal remedies, in food, but it also comes from stories. It comes from like mythological, and a lot of those mythological stories, the plants are representing their actual use in nature, their role they play in nature. So it takes a little time to learn that because you kind of have to actually learn some of the information about the plant, the stories that it's involved in. I opened right up to thistle. That's wild. So, okay, something is holding you back from making progress. All right, so we're here in that in between, that egg that's caught in between, that wild spirit that's feeling like it wants to bust out and yet maybe isn't being able to yet. Okay, so something is holding you back from making progress, like abundant thistles on the path of your journey, waiting to be a spine in your foot. Complications are frustrating, but sometimes ultimately unavoidable. You can't move forward while you're bottling up anger and aggravation, whatever the source. Find it and confront it. The process of removing that thorn may be difficult and painful, but if you're going to make any progress at all, it will only come after you've faced your problems. Okay, so based on that description, my guess is that thistles are, we don't have them here in Florida, and I don't think I've ever lived anywhere that has them because I've always lived on the southern belt of our country. So my guess is thistles are pretty thorny and can be like kind of a pain in the ass, and so this is like confront your problems. So I would say in the line of all of this that I'm feeling collectively a lot of people are feeling like they want to move forward with something, but something's in their way. So and we're being kept back for a reason because there's something we're not seeing yet, and there's something we haven't learned yet. So that's where the meditation comes in because it's not up here, it's here and it's here. And it could be that there's something that's getting in our way that can be removed, but we need but either we're not seeing it or we're avoiding dealing with it. And so we need to take our time to maybe even figure out like what it is if we're not even really consciously aware of it, but also how we feel comfortable dealing with it. So this deck by Fez Inkrate comes with two. I just read from the Dawn guidebook because she kind of has like, it's kind of the idea of like if you're looking for more like light guidance and if you're looking for more like shadow wisdom. So I read from the Dawn guidebook because we're going into spring, and I find that actually the two play off of each other a lot. So I'm going to read from the Dusk now, which thistles may be spiky and unwelcome, but they provide a valuable food source to birds and pollinators and Eeyore, by the way. And it is for this reason that the thistle card represents true fulfillment. Okay, so if that last interpretation didn't feel, mm, then this may be the interpretation for you. Like the thistle, you have so much to give, and the world around you is ready to give back. Your found family is there to help you on your journey as much as you have helped them on theirs. This joint relationship is the most emotionally satisfying of all, and the pleasure of providing for others in its own reward. So it's interesting, she's very specific about found family. So if you're feeling this like push and pull or the tween or this like energy building up in you, I want to get out, I want to get out, or I want something to happen, or I'm trying to get there, okay? If you weren't really resonating with there's a problem or there's a pain in my side, which I wasn't. That really didn't apply for me personally, but this one did. That one applied to me more. Like your found family, that's a way one could be productive without like physically feeling productive is you can be working on the relationships, you can be working on your network, you can be working on these people that are in your life, you can be building connection, you could be discussing with them how you're feeling, what you're going through, what you're stuck in between, and maybe find some insight from them on what they think might help with that. Okay, so and finally, I thought I would just pull some tarot cards. Let's just see what comes out. Let's just see what the tarot has to say. This is my last unicorn tarot deck, so we're just gonna see what wisdom we have from the tarot. Okay, two came out. I would feel more comfortable if we had. All right, let's see. Seven of Swords. So we want to be keeping an eye on the people around us. So in this found family, but all around us in general, we want to be keeping an eye on people who may not have our best interests at heart, who may be deceiving us in some way. And this could be like not even big, huge, giant lies, but more like trying to manipulate you into getting the what they want out of you. The other side of this card is this. So this could be if that thistle, that first thistle interpretation resonated with you. This is a definite confirmation that there's something you're not seeing and you need to reflect that whatever the problem, the obstacle, whatever's in your way that you're not seeing, it's because it's like you're in denial. There's something that is in your way that you're not either consciously aware of or you don't want it to be a problem that you have to deal with, so you're avoiding it. So that's that. In general, for other people, if that didn't resonate with you, keep an eye out. Or we all did pull the meditation card, so or if it's not in direct relation to some of these situations we've been talking about, there's something else that you're not being honest with yourself about that you're not seeing, or you yourself are trying to cut corners and make something happen faster, quicker, or happen your way, and that's you're almost slipping into or have slipped into manipulation or deceitful ways of achieving what you want. Okay. Celebrate small victories. Those are narwhals right there. Okay. So, and this is again with that found family interpretation. This is another one that's like the answers are really with the people who are your people. And you're going to get somewhere and make some achievements worth celebrating if you work together instead of continuing. So we want to keep the yin energy. We want to keep that balance, but it is time to emerge out of the winter time like hibernation stage and come back to life, get back to community, get back to Whatever that looks like for you, connecting with other people because that's where you are going to achieve some successes worth celebrating. And then you'll be living your best life. This is a great card, okay? You you be honest in your work. Don't try to force things to happen your way or on your timeline. Or you reflect on something that is a problem that you don't want to see and you meditate your way kind of out of denial and recognizing and confronting it. Focus back on your community and your people and build things together and collaborate and teamwork and let your spirit out, let yourself be seen again while still taking time to take care of yourself, and you are going to be living your best life. So, that is our April insights and guides for April 2024. If you've made it this far with me today, you know how much that means to me. I am always so appreciative if people put up with my long windedness. And of course, if you know someone that could maybe use this message, please share, please like, please subscribe. It really goes to support this solopreneur, freelance writer in her journey to making this a sustainable career. So thank you so much and happy April, everyone.